Today's video will be the second part of my Star Wars helmet painting series. In this video, I'll be doing Boba Fett's helmet from The Empire Strikes Back. This is my second time using an airbrush to paint a helmet or something of this scale, and it turned out amazing. The techniques I used, I practiced during my Bo-Katan helmet build, and that was the first part of this series. I also used some of the same techniques I used to make my Captain Rex helmet, and this Boba Fett helmet turned out way better than either of these two helmets. So I hope you enjoy the process. Thank you.
The model I used was relatively low polygon, so you can see all the different lines that make up the faces of this model, so it took a lot of work to sand those down. Here's a shot of it roughly halfway through the process. It was smoothed out mostly with filler primer and Bondo spot putty and a lot of sanding. I use the same process to smooth out all of my prints, so if you'd like to see a more in-depth view of this process, leave a comment and I might make a video on it.
Okay, so I just finished all the post-processing, filling all the gaps, sanding, making it nice and smooth on my Boba Fett helmet. Now it's time to give it a chrome paint job to go over the black. So I'm following this diagram of all the colors, and I'm starting by doing a base coat of chrome. Then I will seal that with this all-clad lacquer to give it a nice shine. And then I'm going to mask off all the parts that will remain chrome, then prime it with this because it closely matches one of the grays used, and then everything will get its color. So my intention is for it to look as close to this as possible, but I've never done anything like this, so let's see how it goes. Okay, so now I have it chromed and a layer of clear coat on it. So my next step is to mask off all of the spots that will still have the metal showing through on the final paint job. And to do that, I'll be using masking fluid. I don't have it with me, right? This stuff, masking fluid, and I'll just paint that over all of the spots that are going to be shiny and chrome. Then I'm going to paint it with this this primer that happens to be the right color of the second layer over the chrome. So I'm going to spray this on, then do another mask, and then start putting the actual colors on. So there are plenty of stencils that I could use instead of doing this that are available online, but it seems more interesting to do it this way, and we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so I've currently masked off all the spots that I think should be silver on the final helmet. And now it's time to do the self-etching primer. This is the part that I'm really nervous about because I spent all this work making it a nice shiny chrome, and if it doesn't work, it's going to be quite a bit of work to get it back to this point. So yeah, let's cross our fingers and hope this goes well. Okay, so the whole thing is now primed with the green-gray primer. And now it's time to spray it with the green it's going to finally be. And I've put down all the extra marking fluid, so when you peel this off, it'll expose this green and the silver. I wanted to mask off all the parts that will be red, but I'm worried that when I do, it'll peel off the marking or the masking fluid. I still haven't decided. I may mask it real quick and then spray it, but as of right now, I'm just going to spray it green. So let's do it.
There are a couple spots in the front of the helmet where the primer didn't properly adhere to the chrome paint and resulted in cracking. Now, for most paint jobs, this would have been an issue and I would have had to sand it all off and start again. But in this case, it actually added to the effect I was going for.
Okay, so now I have the green on the dome, and as you can see, one of the spots I masked off, I accidentally peeled, and you can see the silver shining through, and the primer color, which is a slightly different shade of green. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mask off all the parts that are green, and then I'm going to do this back panel, which is, it's a slightly different green that's this green mixed with this blue in a 1-to-1 ratio. And then once I do that, I'm going to paint all the parts that are going to be red. But first I'm going to peel off some of the masking fluid on the dome just to expose it.
My airbrush quickly got clogged while spraying the black, so I had to switch to hand painting.
Okay, so now the whole thing is painted and the mask is still on. So now it's time to peel the mask off and then find in all the spots that I use the liquid mask on and then peel all those off and see what we have.
Now that the helmet's mostly painted, it's time to start working on the earpieces and the rangefinder stalk. According to the color diagrams I have, there's actually a cherry red that is only partially visible on the bottom of the right ear.
Okay, so to put the detailing on the earpieces, I wanted this to be more precise than just masking the areas that were supposed to be masked. So I used my Cricut cutter to cut a couple stencils, using stencils provided by Reupload Works on the dented helmet. I'll leave a link to them. They're amazing. So now I'm going to put the stencils on. Hopefully I scaled them correctly. And then add the black detailing. Okay, so I've made another stencil for the kill stripes that go here on his helmet using the same patterns I got from Boba Fett. And those stripes, they go from a yellowish orange all the way to a dark orange. So I'm going to do that I'm going to have to brush them on by hand, and I'm going to start with yellow and orange and slowly add more orange with every stripe. So let's hope I can get the stencil on straight and do a decent job. So I accidentally built the rangefinder and painted it all off camera. I just basically spray painted this black and used a hammered metal finish on this. So now I just have to insert the pin that connects it to this and then attach this whole contraption to the side of the helmet, and then we should be done. And it's got a nice tight friction fit, so it can move, but it won't move too much on its own. So I got to connect this right here. I'm going to do that same way I connected the other side with the pins of filament and super glue. And then this bad boy is all finished. Okay, so now I'm in the wood shop since I don't have a hot glue gun at home, and he has a bandsaw that I can use to cut the screen out with. So the last thing I have to do is put the face shield in, and then once that's done, I'm probably going to figure out what I'm going to do with padding on the inside, but that'll probably not be part of the video. So I've made this template that fits inside perfectly and transferred it over to the clear shield. So now I got to cut this out on the bandsaw, hot glue it in, and then this thing is done. So now it's all done, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's completely wearable, and I just have to add padding. But I'm super stoked with it, and yeah, hope to do more stuff like this soon. If you like this video, subscribe, give this video a like, and check out the next one. Thank you.